I get asked often how I curl my hair. I alternate between these two curling irons. This is the BioIonic. My Hot Tools, I think this is like 1.5 inches in diameter. This is Marcel. That's a clamp. They're completely different. 350 is where I keep mine. Curling short hair, it's really hard to get these curls. So as long as they're like curled under and hidden, that's really all that I care about. In sections, because if you do big pieces, you're not going to get the right look. You can use a small curling iron and still get the same look. It's just the tension that is so important. And then once I wrap it around, oh, it's a short piece. I just pull it down straight. It's hard to tell back here, but once I get to the higher sections, it'll be a little bit easier. I take pretty small sections, I would say, starting at the base, wrap it, and then once that's wrapped once, I just pull it down for tension, and it smooths out your ends so that they're kind of they're aiming down and not out. For this look, I'm going all back. So you're pretty much curling, zone 1, zone 2, straightening, zone 3. This is where you're going to start to see, like, the real deal. Start at my base, really smooth that out, get that. And then as soon as my ends get into the curling iron, you can kind of see I do that little swirly effect and I pull down. See how these are aimed down, not out. I have curl up here. I see so many people start with the curl at the bottom and then work their way up. This is the healthiest part of your hair, holds the most moisture, and we need that moisture out to hold a curl. Starting at your base, your root, trust me, your curl will last much longer. See how it's kind of like, I call these unicorn curls, completely wrapped around the curling iron, hold it there for a few seconds, and then you can see that little twist right there. That is money right there. And then you just pull down. If you have long hair, you can do this. You're just going to have more twists. See right there? That is what you want. So this is what that side looks like. I try not to take too wide or too big of sections. Like this section, I want it as wide as my curling iron. Need the heat to reach all the hair. So I don't want to take too big of sections. You definitely want to make sure you're really getting this section up here, because if you don't, then all your volume is going to be down here and not here, and you're going to look like a Christmas tree. And then for my front pieces, I kind of did on this one, failed on this side. I like to over direct it forward, but I also don't want too much curl around my face. Once those ends are in, slide down. Okay, too hot. Slide, get it out. Ooh, I let go of that one too early. So clamp, roll that first section of hair, tap till it's hot, unroll it, get your little unicorn twist, and then slide down and have your tension. This isn't really hard to explain. It's better just to watch, but if you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask, because it's kind of hard to explain. It's really hard to explain. Once you get the hang of this, you could literally curl your hair in 5 minutes. Another tip, when you are curling your hair, you want to hold the curling iron parallel to your section. So if I'm here, I don't want to hold it over here. I want to hold it parallel to this section, down here, this section, this section. That will help. That will help with lifting at the root and getting good volume. I just noticed that when I am getting my ends, I do go a little bit slower, so that I'm like actually straightening and I'm not speeding through my ends, because you don't want frizzy ends. Okay, I think I got the back. Okay, so now that it is all curled, trust the process. I like to use a texture spray. Texture Air spray is one of my go-tos, but I'm running really low on that. But I also like the Kenra Dry Texture Spray. They're both texture sprays, but they're completely different. This kind of gives us a sticky, definitely gives you more of like a sticky hold, where this one just gives each strand some texture, some grit. You can also use Big Sexy Hair Powder Play. I use light because a little goes a long way. This smells so freaking good. You can flip your hair upside down, whatever you feel like doing. So this is the curls. They definitely settle. See, I'm lacking volume in through here, so I'm going to use my Big Sexy Hair Powder Play. Work that into the scalp. For finishing, I use my Big Sexy Hair Spray and Play or Spray and Stay. Okay, I'm going to show you the back. Hopefully it looks good. That is how I curl short hair. If you want to know more beachy waves or more of like a blowout wave, let me know and I will show you how.